Hey, my name's James Thompson. Welcome to my channel. In this video, I want to talk about inflation. Where are we at right now? Because it takes so long for us to get regular updates from the government. We get one update a month, but have things started to improve? And can we predict or get other sources of data that will indicate where we're actually at? Why does this matter to us? Well, inflation is really hits a lot of us very hard, particularly people on a lower income. You see, when cost of goods go up, food, energy, rent, mortgage payments, if you don't have much money left at the end of each of every month, this really hits you very hard, and everyone gets impacted by this. It's very important that inflation is held around the 2% mark for that predictability, but how close are we to that? I'm going to show you some data to show where we might actually be right now. We can look at this and then compare it to the data that we get in the next week or so and see, was this accurate? Because so far, I found this site pretty good. Now, as always, if you haven't done already, do make sure if you're new to this channel that you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification. We're nearly at 20,000 subscribers to the channel, which is absolutely bonkers. Most of those came in the last 12 months. And while you're here, smash the like button or tickle the like button. Do something to the like button, guys. Lick it, punch it, hit it. That really helps us with the YouTube algorithm. We hit 2 million views last year. We want to hit 5 million this year, and I can only do that if you guys help me by hitting that like button. So inflation, like I said, it impacts those on lower wages, right? It really takes more out of their pay packet, and they can't afford that. In fact, lots of people can't afford the extra costs that were caused by inflation. Why did the inflation happen in the first place? Was for a lot of different factors. The government during the pandemics turned on the money printers. They gave out a lot of money to businesses. Maybe you're a business owner and you got a bounce back loan. Maybe you're employed and you were kept employed due to the furlough scheme. It meant your business that you work for or company you work for could keep you on because the government paid the majority of your wage. There was various different reasons like that, and so that caused excess money to go into the system. Then a lot of people didn't spend that money. A lot of us were at home. We couldn't go on holiday. We couldn't get the takeaways that we normally did. We couldn't buy clothes as easily. I remember you went to Tesco's and all the toys and stuff, that was just topped off, so you couldn't even buy or look at that stuff. And it was a really strange time. In fact, a lot of people got more savings than ever before. And so then they bought stuff. That pushed prices up. Then we had the energy crisis. So the energy costs went up significantly. That meant food and drink got more expensive. And it's been a really difficult time for a lot of people. So where's inflation now? Well, inflation officially is at 3.9% in the UK. And the target they've got to get it to is 2%. If it's above 2%, they raise the interest rates, and by doing that, they want to cut your spending, making credit less affordable for you, and that takes money out of the system, and that's what their goal is here. So let's have a look at this. Well, first off, this website's called Trueflation. I can't remember who told me about this. It was one of my viewers on here. So if this was you, thank you. I use this every day at the moment to see what's going on. And you can see here, if we look at America, which we need to know what's going on abroad because we follow America. And if they bring their inflation down, they'll drop their interest rates sooner. So since inflation really became a thing in 2020, costs for Americans have gone up 22%, which is crazy high, considering the target is normally around 2%, right? So you can see here, it's really been crazy. Now it's coming down. So what's the inflation in the US at the moment? So according to this Trueflation site, inflation in the US is close to 2.13 now. That's very close to the target. That means that once it gets to this sort of level, the news will stop talking about it because it's not interesting. It's interesting when inflation's at 10%, right? But when it's at 2%, not so much. What's gone on in the last month? Well, they started at 2.7, and you can see inflation, according to this, in America is dropping significantly. If you want to have a look more on what's going on with this data, you can get a free account. You just sign up with Google. You can see food and beverages in the last quarter is down. Last month is down. Housing is a big one, is down. Cost of houses, cost of rent is important. Transport, cost of transport is down. Utilities is down. Health, God, I'm glad I don't live in America, but that's up. Daily items, so everything is pretty much down. Alcohol you don't need, but people do drink. It's gone up a little bit, but for the quarter it's down. And so utilities is probably the one that is the big problem for a lot of people, because the energy costs are in every business, right? So the person that bakes the bread, if their energy cost goes up, the bread gets more expensive in the supermarket. So then if the utilities are up, the food will go up. So that's good. In a week, it's dropped 2%, which is good. So let's see where it is for the month. So they're down to 1.6. So good. So UK is what you're here for. I know. So let's have a look at the UK inflation. Now, this is interesting. I really hope this is right. So we were at 3.9 last time we had inflation data. And then look at this. It's dropped significantly here. And they're saying at the moment that the UK inflation is roughly 2.91%. Now, this could be wrong. But this site gets data from a lot of different sources, and it's breaking it down as you might want. And they're saying, look, energy costs are 2.6% down in the last month. When I'm driving round, with my own eyes, I can see that petrol costs have dropped significantly. I saw some petrol for a litre in the last few days at £1.36. That's significantly down. People at one point were concerned it was going to go to £2 a litre. So that definitely makes a difference for people that use fuel. And effectively, you all use fuel because you buy your food and someone's got to get it to you, right? Or even to the supermarket, even if you walk there. And so it's down. Utilities are down. That's good. Food and beverages are down. Housing, last quarter, is down according to this. Health, that doesn't really impact us as much. Household items, everything is looking like it's trending down. Now, why does this matter? Well, look, 2.91% is still not 2%. It's got to get to that 2%, but it's moving in the right direction. Look at this. Halfway through the month, we've had that big drop. Now, what this also means is that the Bank of England might start relaxing the interest rates. It definitely will have, we want to see the US inflation data rate. If they're really at that, and that's what officially gets announced next week or the week after, that is going to be a win, because the Federal Reserve have already said they're potentially going to drop interest rates. We follow the Fed, and if we follow the Fed and rates come down, then that's going to make the UK really a little bit more secure, because 1.5 million people are coming off a fixed rate mortgage in the next few months. And if they can get a better mortgage rate, that's going to be an absolute win in my eyes. So this is a great site. I check it every single day on my phone. It's one of the first things I look at. And it's been going, well, let's have a look. Last week, it's gone to 2.93. All of these are under 3% now, and you can really see the news headlines if this sticks until the actual data comes out. And look, for the majority of the month it has been. So as an average, it might be below 3% now. If this drops below 3%, that is going to be a sensational headline, and it eventually will get people to stop worrying about inflation. With wage growth as well going up, this is getting things moving in the right direction. I'm not saying it's fixed by any means, but it's definitely better than it was. Let me know your thoughts and comments on this. Have you seen this site? Do you think this is reliable data? This is their data feeds. Let's have a look. So they get all different things that they're feeding in here to get this data. So it's quite interesting to see where they're getting all of that from. Yeah, do you think this site is useful as a resource? I think when I've been checking this, I have found that this was pretty accurate. I remember looking at this a few days before the government data came out of 3.9, and these guys had it at that. So it was spot on for me. But who knows? We'll see with the next data. Anyway, that's enough from me. Go and check out some more content on my channel. Go and watch this video that's coming up right now.